exactly how I planned this video to be, but okay, so this is where we're gonna be. Why is my camera completely off? Okay, so bad thing about a live is I went live and I cannot change that beginning. So I am de-stressing right now and making sure that I do not have sound on my phone. Could someone please write in the chat if my sound is okay? I will also see if I can. Okay. No one is writing anything. Okay, so let's see. I would very much like to see how this looks on your end. Okay, so this is hilarious because I just clicked the link that I have been sharing with people and it says live in 4 hours. So that is kind of weird because I'm live now. I think I'm gonna go out and try again. No, I don't know if I can do that. Okay, so I am just gonna go from here and I am in need of less clothes. Okay, so welcome to a live Q&A with my spirit team. So my team is called Odeon. I found that out on Wednesday because I was doing the healing. So I do a Wednesday wellness healing meditation that I do with my guide team. And I always say my spirit team or my guides, and I have no clue what to call them because I have been reluctant to put an identification on them. But on Wednesday, I decided that maybe it was time. Rather, they nudged me that it was time because it gets confusing for people that I don't even myself know who my guides are. So what they told me was that they can from now on be identified as Odeon, and that I shouldn't as such think of it as an entity but more a consultancy. So I have many different should we call them members of my spirit guide team, and they help me with so many things, which is why I've probably had more than most people, even though I didn't start to really work with spirit until 2018. But since then, I have really taken advantage of my curiosity and I have been asking a ton of questions and they have been very good at answering them. And I have loved every minute of it. No, that's not true. I've not loved every minute of it, but I really do feel blessed to be in a situation where I have this very, very familiar and close connection to my spirit guides, to guardian angels, to healers, to ascended masters, whatever you call them. And it is really a joy for me to feel that I have access to some knowledge that some people, to my astonishment, do not have. I thought it was normal that anyone who worked as a healer or a psychic or a medium would, like me, ask questions and just get the answers, because that's just how it's been since I really decided to go all in on all things spiritual. So I realized, I think it was last year, I realized that this was not something that everyone can just do. And that the reason why I do is because I am supposed to be working in a more public situation, just like this, where I share all the things that they have been stuffing in my head, all the knowledge, all the information about what's happening in the world, and especially how anyone who's training to work with their spiritual abilities, how they can benefit from what they're doing, what they know, and also what they are not understanding, because it is so, how to put it? It's so different. I mean, it's very individual what you can do and how you do it. I mean, just look at mediumship. Some people, they get spirit coming in from the side. Other people, they have them behind. Other have them in front, and some have from the other side. And there's no right or wrong, because it depends on what you feel comfortable with, and also your energy and the clairs or the psychic abilities that are more natural for you to use. So I'm linking right now to make sure that I don't make any errors in what I'm communicating here. But as human beings, we have we have different skill sets and different combinations of, just like we have different blood types, and we have taste buds, some like salty, some like sweet. We have so many things that puts us apart, not just whether or not we're humans or whether or not we're male or female or non-gender, or all those things that we can use to separate us and put us into categories. It's just like that when it comes to your energy build and your spiritual toolbox, or maybe more the methods that would be more beneficial for you. So I have been told from my guides that today we will be working very much around the topic called expectations, because many of us have expectations, and that is also what is going on when we're talking about spiritual development. But this is linked to any situation in your life, because we would never be disappointed if we didn't have expectations, and life would be a lot easier if we were just curious and ready to get the best out of any situation. So, and for anyone who joins along this live, please use the comments to write your questions. And if something is off with my light or my sound or anything else, please let me know, so I don't continue doing stuff that is no benefit to you. But it looks as though my mic is working, and I hope the sound is coming through all right. But still, it would be amazing if someone would just make me aware that things are working great. So back to topic of expectations. I'm a nerd. I'm a super nerd. Like, I used to teach programming, and I then got interested in crystals, and then I read I read everything about crystals, like those big ass crystal Bibles, and I wanted to know everything about them. Then I got interested in developing my psychic abilities, so I read all the books I could get on it. I saw the episodes on YouTube. I listened to podcasts. Oh, Hay House. I have been binge listening to everything I could get on Hay House about how to be a psychic, how to be a healer, how to develop your medium abilities. But it confused me more than it helped me to some extent, because it didn't feel as though I could see myself in many of the books, especially when it came to mediumship. I read the book by Gordon Smith, I think, and I've been listening to podcasts. I think I've been watching videos about how he does his readings, his sessions, and I found them super interesting and inspiring. But then in his book, there was something about how he was in a circle where they meditated every week for 2 years before he started doing mediumship. that is never ever going to work for me. I have ADHD and I do not have patience to do meditation all the time. And if I were to wait 2 years, I would have been building a new career in something else right now. So, luckily for me, my guides have been very good at telling me that that is not how it has to be for everyone. So, I decided to test a lot of things. I guess for me, it has been playtime. I've wanted to be a magical person forever. I saw all the series with witches, and I've been watching Harry Potter. I've been really curious about what is possible, and to realize that many of the things I've been watching in movies or reading in books, that is not magic. It's what we're all capable of, like energy and sensing things and seeing things. And it's such a shame that we are told or being brainwashed to believe that that is fantasy, adventure, not real, when it's actually something we can all access with a bit of training for some, and for others, it's just natural. And then for others, again, it might take a bit more practice because there are a lot of things we need to unlearn if we want to flow through this magical energy life. So, what my guides would very much like to share today is how anyone interested in developing their gifts or fine tuning them, or getting over that lack of confidence in truly being, and they want me to say magical in the sense that it's not natural from the perspective that we have been raised or read about or are to believe as human beings. But it's not magic as such. It's just energy. We're all energy. Everything is energy. And it really shouldn't be a secret how much we are able to do if we all appreciate and access and use it for the good, in light and in love, because we can be so connected and so joyful in the life we can build if we decide to, I wouldn't say break the boundaries, because the boundaries are make believe, but if we dare to do the things that others are afraid of, or people who are not adventurous or curious, where they might have resistance. So, if we dive into what it would mean to allow yourself to not have expectations and to allow the curiosity to be your fuel, your GPS, and just play with it, then everything would be a lot easier, because you wouldn't feel as though you had to prove yourself all the time. It wouldn't be as though, oh, I want to become a psychic, so now I have to know when the phone rings, who is it? Or if someone's at the door, I should know that guests were coming, or I should know that my car would break down. That's not what it's about. Sometimes we do know that and we can practice that, but we are not magical beings as such. We just have a better, well, the sixth sense, of course, but also a sensation. And I'm looking for a word about a tuning in and a connection to knowing more than what we would usually be able to perceive. And please, just if you have any questions regarding your own development or whatever may be, put them in the chat and I will be happy to give you an answer based on what I am able to comprehend. Because sometimes my guides will share information to me in a sense that I see I see scenes, I see things that are not yet in my it's not something that I have seen in real life and that I do not grasp. So some things are a bit hard for me to translate. But since this is about developing and we are at this huge, huge shift where things that we are not able to imagine being possible is going to be possible soon. So sometimes I will be given messages where I'm thinking, nah, that can't be. I don't know how to explain this because this really feels sci-fi. But nevertheless, I will do my best to answer whatever you may be curious about when it comes to developing your abilities or struggling, because a lot of us are struggling and things are changing rapidly. So, what can you do? So, if we look at being curious, let's say if you're working as a psychic, you might have a client and they have some expectations when they come, and naturally we wanna make sure that they leave happy and satisfied, but sometimes what they expect is not what is in their best interest. So if you yourself have expectations about what you're supposed to be delivering, how the client should be feeling when they leave, um, and also how it should feel and look and in general roll in a certain manner. So first you have to tune into them, and then maybe you've been trained that you cannot give me information, you can only say yes, no, maybe. But sometimes if the client is okay with it, maybe you don't have to be so strict. There are so many things that can stop the flow and that can make it a bit robotic because you're not allowing the energy to flow freely. You're not allowing the information from spirit to come through. And here I'm talking about spirit guides, and they're always there, eager to help. So if you would be more curious as to, okay, so I was expecting this, but I'm getting that. Why is that? And you can ask spirit guides, you can ask your higher self or your intuition. But a lot of people tend to feel disappointed in themselves or disappointed in the spirit guides because they're not delivering what is expected, or in a way where it's impossible to communicate. Just like I was talking about, sometimes they do show me things where I do not understand the concept. It's too, I don't want to say crazy, but it's just too abstract for me to grasp. And I could choose to feel, oh, I'm not good at this. But instead, I'll ask them, okay, can you show me more? How does it feel? What's the purpose? There are so many ways for us to not be stuck trying to decipher something. I feel like I'm a Sherlock Holmes sometimes when I'm delivering messages. I have all these calculations and I have small images and I have sensations and I put them together, and everything has to make sense for me. So actually what I do, I always have pen and paper because it's kind of like a puzzle. So I start with something, and if my client cannot take it, if it's simply not making any sense, I do not discard it. I have it on my paper, sometimes a drawing, sometimes just notes. And wouldn't you know, it turns out that it was because I didn't have the full picture and it didn't make sense yet, but it will. And a lot of people would be so put down in their energy because they allow themselves to feel insecure. Oh, I don't understand this, maybe there's something wrong. And when you go down in your energy, you're not linked the same way anymore. You really have to work on being curious. So, oh, that was interesting, I wonder why I got that wrong. Well, I'm not getting it wrong, but something's off, and right now I'm having a hard time tuning in. I'll I'll just put it aside until it makes sense, or until they have been delivering more so that the message is coming through, because it's important to get it through, because they wouldn't have delivered it if not. So if you allow yourself to not have the expectations, that would be where you would learn more and have more fun. I always have fun. Even now, where I'm doing this live and not a lot of people are coming to watch, but you know what? I didn't do a lot of marketing for it because I don't know. I didn't want to have expectations. So I'm just curious to see what happens with a live video when my guides are there, and how are they going to make sure that people who need this information are going to find it afterwards, because I'm making it available. So the whole curiosity and the no expectations, that's kind of a cool way to have fun no matter what. So that's also why, please write a question. Do you have any questions about anything spiritual, about your own guides, about your development, or something where I can be of service? Please don't hesitate to write a comment, but I can talk and they can deliver. So I will just stay on the topic of expectation until something might show up. Good. So back to topic. I need just to have a bit of water. Just a second. Yeah. So I just got a like. Yay. So see, I got happy with one like. Yay. So my guides showed me, scared me some years ago when I was being shown in a meditation about my life purpose, that I would end up having a reach that would be like 100 million people. And I remember I said, nah, you mean 1 million? And I said, 100, 100,000, 100 million. I was like, no. And that freaked me so much that I stopped almost for a year. I didn't do anything because that was just too many people where I would have to stand by all this woo-woo and me putting myself out there with the risk of people calling me crazy. And you know what? I wasn't ready then. But the fact that they showed me that, and later they also showed me that I'm not meant to have that reach personally, but every person I help on their spiritual journey, it's going to spread. So they're going to help other people and help other people and help other people. So that made it more digestible for me. And you see, I had expectations to that number. 100 million is like, you're crazy. That's not, no. I just couldn't take it in. And then when I stopped, because I saw, oh my God, I'm going to be working like all hours of the day, and I'm never going to have any free time. And I'm just going to be delivering to be of service and helping people all over the world. And that was expectations too. So all the expectations I put on it as tasks and requirements, and what would be, what I would have to do personally. And back then, I'm sure my guides were trying to help me and soothe me, but I hadn't worked enough with them back then to know how the communication worked properly. Because today I have a better sense of who I am, and I can sense these tiny shifts. I can feel when they're soothing me or calming me down. And right now, just because I was up and talking about that, I felt like, easy, Michelle. I wouldn't be able to feel that back then. So I still think they shouldn't have given that to me, but you have to think that they know best, right? Anyways, I really encourage you to do tests, experiment, just have fun with it. So ask maybe a friend, but friends are hard to read because you know too much and you don't want to disappoint them. But if your friend is developing too, you could have fun with trying to see if you can find information that you didn't know about each other, and be okay with sucking at it, because sometimes a client can actually put down a barrier. So sometimes you're not able. So this is a psychic reading I'm talking about. You can have a situation where you're not able to read anything because the client will have a barrier where they're not willing to let you in. And I think I have worked so much on just being curious, and I wonder why that is. I wonder what that means. I wonder what I'm supposed to see. So instead of, let's say I meet the barrier, I don't try to break it down. I ask, why is it there? Because it's not up to me to remove the shield that the client has unless they want me to. So I would first find out, why is it there? Okay, am I able to get through? No, I would not say, oh, I can't do this. I'm not good enough because I can't read anything from this. I would actually go in, okay, there's like black something. There's don't enter here, a sensation of dread. Okay. And then I would ask, are you okay with me finding out what that's about? So maybe that's really the answer. Maybe this person is afraid of opening up to help, opening up to sensations, whatever. But if you have expectations as to, when I'm doing a reading, I do this, I open, I connect, and then I get all the information, and then boom, there's just this black wall. What then? Can you let go of the expectations and just say, curious, why? So that was some examples. And and I don't want to leave you hanging with the 100 million because that was that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this live thing now, because I have made so many videos and I struggle to upload them, and now they're just like, I need to find a chronological order and all of that. But since they have been waiting, those videos, and my guides have told me they will not help me develop further until I share what they have taught me. Nice trick they played on me there, because of course I want to learn more, do more, be more. I want to feel more. I want to know what I'm going to be able to accomplish if there aren't any like glass ceilings. Yeah. Okay. They're saying we don't have glass up here. No, fine. Okay. That's how I talk with my guides. I love that communication. So I have this live that I want to do weekly for now until I find the, what can we talk, the format, until I get used to putting myself out there at the risk of, no, I don't want to even talk about that. I am making myself available for all the beautiful, amazing souls who need some positive energy and some insights from someone who is not afraid to say something stupid and say things that others would think that's not true, that's not real. So here I am, open to help you. And since there aren't any questions in the chat, I am just gonna keep on talking about this. I also have my Wednesday wellness healing sessions that my guides are channeling for me. I never know what it's going to be about, but today I actually made the one for Wednesday because you never know what might happen. But that's amazing. I mean, I look forward to doing it. So Graceful Galactic Alchemy has a question. You can just ask the question, beautiful soul, and thank you for being here. But the Wednesday wellness is every Wednesday. I'll upload a channeled healing meditation based on whatever is going on in the energy right now, and it's free, and it's got different topics every time, I think. But the one that is going to be released this Wednesday, it was nervous system reset, alignment, and also a help for you to feel that you could kind of protect yourself from the outside world, because many people are very sensitive to everything that's happening around the world. So that would be a way for you to center yourself. Oh yeah, And Graceful Galactic Alchemy, you said, I have a question. And I said, yeah, ask it. But I put a limit on this chat, so people have to wait 20 seconds before they can ask again or write a comment, just in case someone is bombarding with questions. So I am waiting for the question. Yeah, but I will be uploading some of the videos, but I'm gonna put them in order because I have videos from the very beginning, like very first time I decided to, no, not decide, but the first time I contacted a psychic to get a reading, and my doubt before, like, I don't even know if I believe in that. And those videos I am gonna slowly release. But until then, I will have my weekly lives, probably Mondays all the time, but if something comes up, I will find another day in the week. And then the Wednesday wellness videos where you get that healing, which will work no matter when you watch it. So you don't have to watch it on Wednesday, but that's when it will be released. And still nothing from Graceful Galactic Alchemy. So I'm just waiting for the question to appear. Maybe I should start collecting questions. Yeah, would you like that if I put a post on the wall on YouTube? Just, hey, my live is coming up. Do you have any questions you'd love to have answered? Just share it with me in the comment section. So the question is there. I have a sense that I am in an expansion where a lump, like a net that has been pressed into a ball-like figure. Oh no, there's no more to the question. Please don't put the question up until you have finished everything in it, because it'll take 20 seconds before we get the next. But I'll just start to connect and ask for guidance. A net. Okay, I'm just gonna take time to see. I get a clear sensation. Now, I don't know what else is gonna come. Yes, so I lost the connection. Sarah. That was something else. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to Sarah. But for Graceful Galactic Alchemy, so that ball is, I have a sensation of, so I'm putting myself in your place, and I feel like I took that net and I folded it myself. And the thing here is, I was just talking earlier about how my fear of being out there, like when my guides were telling me that I have to start doing this work because there are 100 million people who are going to be affected one way or another by the people that come in contact with me, that learn something, that grow from it, and whatever they're going to do out in the world. And that freaked me out, and I removed myself from it. And that would have been like, ooh, I was out there, I was enjoying the energy, and I was really feeling, ooh, I'm getting good at this, I love this. And then the fear just became this, who am I to be this? Who am I to do that? And that is one of the things I'm sensing here for you, Graceful Galactic Alchemy. It's not something you are carrying around like, I don't want to be known. I don't want to, but so I'm being reminded of Spider-Man here. With great powers comes great responsibilities. And what I hear from my guides is, don't worry, because they are not expecting a lot in return for this expansion. And sometimes we have been raised with the this I hate it when a word just keeps escaping me, but this idea that when we are given something, we have to, of course, pay it back somehow. And that is not how this work works. So the not, it's actually funny, because it's as if that net is that expansion. So you could be Usually I see us all connected in this grid of, it's so amazing. It looks kind of like, when Christmas lights are in a net, like they're all connected in these small diamond shape. Well, it's like the diamond shape, it's the holes between all the nets and the small lights. That's how I usually see us. And when I look into this, it feels as though you have not just one light in there, but you have a whole part of it with a lot of lights, and it's you in a sense, and it's what you've been working on. And I'm going to talk about past lives, but it feels as though it's something you have built up with everything you've done in previous lives as well. It's pretty cool. I've never seen this before. So it's up to you to allow that to come out and release that tension and fear, because I also do feel that some of those lights were, shall we say, shut off too early. Let's think about witch hunt and other situations like that, because when people don't understand what it is we do, they can get scared. So some of that is in that. So I saw you just wrote something else. I'm going to see. It feels like it is being unfolded, and in this unfolding, old stuff has come up. It is related to me personally, not so much spiritually. It is difficult to describe. Yeah, it would be difficult to describe because I've never seen that before. And that thing, if you're unfolding it, it will put you in contact with the energy of those previous lives. Not that you're going to sense it as such, but there's an easy way to go about it. So if you just imagine by closing your eyes that you have that net, and for some reason, I feel it really as solar plexus. It's all crammed up in there. And you can just imagine yourself taking it out and unfolding it gently, and just send some love to the past and to the lives and to whatever it was that back then was the cost of building the light. But this is, now you get it. The light is here for you, and the expansion is at your will. But this time, the karma has been paid. So, that there's no debt. There's no, I really don't like talking about karma, because it feels outdated. It feels as though there's something new. There's some karma it's all energy, and it's all about experience and growth. And for you, if you allow yourself to take it and to cherish it, ooh, wow, it felt as though you're gonna, I'm being reminded of when someone has, let's say I'm losing my sight and I get a surgery and my eyesight is perfect again. So it feels as though you're gonna have that, not perfect again, but actually for the first time. So it feels like you're gonna see things clearer, feel things clearer, and that can be scary. So the old stuff that comes up is because it's ready to be released now. It's all the things that's blocking your sight, that's holding you back. So if you embrace that expansion, but there's also a necessity for you to take it on as a task. So we have this free will thing, and I've come across so many experiences lately where I have to ask a client, do you want this? Are you ready for this? Because the more we work with it ourselves and take responsibility, the easier it's going to come, and the better the result is going to be, because we have actively opened and not just sat back and said, okay, I'm ready. But if you work on it, it's going to be faster and better, because the flow, the manifestation, the creation, it's just, you're going to take control. And the more we take control, the easier all of this spiritual development and the spiritual life is going to be. And you're right. It makes so much sense what you say. Thank you. You're welcome. And you know where to find me if something pops up that doesn't feel right. But as long as you don't feel as though you have to live through any of this old stuff, just think, interesting. So I'm ready to release it now, and just be grateful for all the beautiful light that you have been given in return for all the old stuff that had to be, let's say, endured. And you say again, I have seen the net being the expansion. It is difficult to describe. It is connections to my other soul fragments. That is my expansion, I feel, but it feels overwhelming. Yeah. And because it's linked to so many previous lives, like I thought we only would have one, because that's great. I've seen it all around the globe. It's amazing. And far out, because there were so many lights out there, and we can, all of us can actually plug into it. Sometimes I lie in bed and I cannot sleep, so I protect myself and I plug up there and I ask, okay, so give me some melatonin. Or sometimes I look for calm up there. I connect up there, and I'm just connected to everyone who's in the light, and it's amazing. So you can practice that. You can practice just connecting to the big grid and getting more familiar with it, because you're gonna connect with a lot of beats to the whole fabric up there, and it's gonna be amazing. And yes, overwhelming if you think, I'm just gonna throw it up there and let it be a part. Just think, I'm slowly gonna attach it and let myself be a part of that connection up there, because it's amazing. That's the only thing I can say about that. It feels so cool. So think of it with curiosity and without expectation, and just maybe protect yourself by asking for your guides to help you connect so that it feels safe, and what you're ready to take in right now without it affecting your well-being or something. And be careful not to set too many expectations to that as well, because your well-being, sometimes we need a dive so we can appreciate getting up on our own sometimes, and other times there are just things we need to learn. But I feel like you've come such a far way, so you're not going to struggle so much with that. I hope that makes sense. And wow, it's so cool. I love it when I get to feel other people's expansion like that, and also to feel that comfort that is coming from spirit. So I hope that it is coming through to you, so you feel supported in this. I actually feel as though you would be aware of two spirit guides or entities there to support you in this. So enjoy that, and yeah, I hope you share later how that went. Good. And Sarah Sassy said, good exercise. And graceful galactic alchemy. I love your confirmation. Thank you. Good. So, but to get back to Sarah Sassy's first question, I lost the connection for a while, so I don't know if you already explained that. Self-doubt are a big break on slowing down my intuition. How do you overcome it during the session? Great discussion. Thank you. So let's sense into that. Yeah, so that leads back to what I was talking about in the beginning, how we tend to put the blame on ourselves if the information is not coming through. And so I talked about how you could practice with a friend, but as I said, a friend is also tricky. One thing you could do when self-doubt comes in. So for me, I worked hard. I was lucky enough to have to suffer with depression, where I would be okay one minute, and the next I would hear a voice telling me that you suck, you're not worth this life, yada yada. And I really got good at noticing, where's that voice coming from? And I have this I'm very sensory, so I could almost feel where it was coming from in my head. And so I know when I'm learning new things, I can kind of sense where it's being placed in my head, and I can see words being put into place and sensations, how they're being kind of stored in my body. And I actually managed to fire more than that fire. I did to that voice in a meditation what it wanted me to do. So I managed to kick it out, and it was a cool experience. But that whole sensation of me noticing, wait a minute, I have my thoughts, I have intruder thoughts like the inner critic and the doubt. So I would simply spend time sitting in silence and just say, I'm thinking a thought. Okay, that's my thought, because I know that I just said I'm thinking a thought. Okay, where is it coming? Where's that thought? Do I feel it in my head, or do I feel it in the space around me? Do I feel it elsewhere? And then when I find out where I feel it, I would check with my intuition. So for me, it really is around solar plexus. It's the gut feeling. And if you haven't located your intuition yet, there's also an easy way to do that. But let's just stay on topic here. So you can play with, okay, what's my thoughts? And then you can ask your spirit guides to help you by giving you guidance through this. And what you notice is when you're thinking a thought, it's, I am thinking a thought. But spirit guide is like, boom, you just have like a sentence. It's like, oh, there, so I can be talking here. And if I would be interrupting myself in my own thoughts, I would be speaking at this level. But the spirit guides are like, so I just saw an entire movie, and I know the beginning and the ending, and I know all the emotions everyone is going through, and it's just boom, being delivered like that. So I don't doubt that anymore, because I'm not able to think like that. So it's not just something I am making up. So that is one way that was easy for me to not doubt when I was delivering from spirit or from me. And every time I feel like the information I feel like sharing is very slow, I'm like, is this me or is it them? I tend to connect. It's as if I just put my attention up. And if I feel, oh, I was still connected, no problem, then I take it in. And sometimes it will be a bit slower, other times, because I work with many different guides. But if you're, let's say you're with a client and they say, no, I can't take that in. Then you do the, okay, am I involved in this? Am I trying to make sense of this in a way where I'm guessing, or where I'm trying to be smart or clever or whatever? And then if that's the case, you just back up and you say, okay, for me, it's actually, I've learned how I imagine myself, like, here's the energy, I'm tapping in, here are the messages. I take a step back, and then I can more see it. It's as if I'm putting my ego in the background, so that, okay, I don't get annoyed or offended, or I don't doubt myself. If the client says, I can't take that, that doesn't make sense, oh, you're so wrong, I would say, interesting. Let me just sense into why I got that wrong, or if there's something else I should have gotten from it. And that takes practice. So you could actually just imagine it. So if that is how you doubt it, the whole, is this my imagination? Or am I not getting this right? Or why do I feel like this person is lying to me? And sometimes they will not knowingly lie, but they have expectations. And if we do not meet these expectations, they will be blocked. And sometimes if we meet the expectations, they will be scared. So they're still gonna react completely irrelevantly. It's not gonna make sense. You might even tell them the street name for where they grew up and the teacher they had in school, and they're still gonna be, nope, not realizing that that's their fear talking. Because some people who will find a psychic or a healer or a medium, they might not actually be ready for it. They're curious and they think they're open, but they might not be ready to take it in, because for some people, they're going to have to shift their whole worldview. Like, okay, so this is real. And it's scary to know that some people have access to this kind of information because they don't know that we don't know everything. So people get scared, and we get scared if we feel like, oh, I'm disappointing my guides. That was my issue at one point. I didn't want to disappoint them, and I felt like I had to eat healthier, and I had to really meditate a lot, and I had to work hard to become really good at this. And that whole pressure, again, expectations I was putting on myself, that was actually keeping my energy low because I wasn't meeting them with. Now it's like, oh, yay, I get to be with some amazing energies and I get to have fun and maybe learn something new. Just being here, I feel as though I'm becoming taller, my energy is rising, and the more I can be excited and look forward to it, the less I doubt myself because the connection just gets so strong. And yes, some of those guides, they might be not like super fun and excited, but still the energy mm, that you can generate just by looking forward to it, it could just be love. So a lot of you and a lot of people who will come to me because I work from love, but my love can feel very, oh, I want to hug you all, I just want to give you everything I have. Whereas a lot of the people that will find me are the people who are down to earth, and I send you love, and isn't this beautiful, and I just want to save you, and I want to save the world. And that is also a high vibration. So mine is just outwardly very physical as well. So the high vibration can be many things, but just raise your energy a lot, then you will start to feel it. And back to how you can do it in a meditation, you can actually just think of a client, and if you dare, someone who's a challenge, like it could be someone you have actually met, but that could open up for some things. So maybe think of someone you don't know. Imagine a person, just maybe not even see them, just imagine their energy. And then at first in the meditation, imagine you're doing it. Let's say you're doing a healing. So you're connecting, you're sensing, you're finding out, and you're sending energy, and you're opening. So let's say something happens, and then you just, oh, okay, if that happened, how could I react? And then you ask your guides, what would be the best solution here? So you can practice all of these situations in your mind. You can have everything go like shit. It could be the client is unsatisfied. You might, okay, this is probably never going to happen, but let's say if it's a healing and you come with all your intention to help them, and you send energy, and they're like, ow, 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 it hurts. It's like, well, that's not supposed to happen, and it won't. But what if, all of those fears we may have, just go over them in a meditation where you're always connected to your guides, and you sit there and you think, I'm in this bubble of light, I'm protected. Oh, by the way, that Wednesday wellness meditation on that's going to be released in 2 days. It's going to be amazing for that purpose, because in it they're sending down this elixir, this golden, beautiful protection all around you that's keeping you safe from the outside world. So you could just imagine now, if you can't wait till Wednesday, but that after this, you sit in a meditation and you feel all of that coming down, protecting you and keeping you clean and not blended with everyone else. And from that, you do that meditation where you imagine, okay, this is when a session goes well. This is how it feels. And my guides are telling me, you don't know what a good session feels like yet, because you have that, I think I could have done better, or probably I should have done. When you learn to release that, oh my God, it's going to be so cool for you. And that is what they can help you feel. So what if I were to give myself the gift of no expectations and just be open and trust my guides? How would it feel? And they can help you get that sensation. They can show you so many things that you're not even able to feel or imagine right now, but just let them send you the images and the sensations. And then when you're in a comfortable state, you can start. Okay, so let's imagine now I get that complicated client. How would I handle that? Okay, so your guides can help you and show you. Let's say this client come, and I'm still in the healing. Let's say they come expecting some pain in the hip to disappear, and that doesn't happen. Well, it's not up to you. You can give them the energy, you can facilitate it, but it's up to them to allow the healing to take place. And sometimes they have things that they haven't solved yet. But how would you deal with that to not feel responsibility and not to feel like you're a failure? They can show you, and they can also help you get a confirmation. So when your work is done, no matter what the client feels, sometimes you'll just know, oh, I'm done. For me, it's the energy, just the flow just stops. It's as if at first it's just really strong flowing from me, and then I feel like like a generator, it starts up, and then when it slows down, it's like, oh, we're at the end. How nice. Okay, so I can start to be there. And sometimes because it's getting easier and easier to do energy work, because the energy has like that grid around the world. It's amazing. And I feel a bit disappointed because I don't get to work that much hands-on anymore with the energy, because my guides are just doing all the work, not the world, also the world. But what they've told me that could be useful here, because I have only been working in mediumship. So let's say mediumship is something I started a year ago only, but I'm still offering mentoring to mediums because my guides have been training me. Some people can be a really good coach, a football coach or whatever, even though they're not able to play, because I see things. I can see talents. I can see methods. It's just, I got a whole playbook for people okay, you want to become a healer. Yeah, you have a thing with, let's say, so there's definitely energy. You can sense people's past struggles and their insecurities. And the reason why you've been struggling with insecurities is because you had to work with that for people. I get the whole playbook and special methods or tiny tweaks. And I was so curious as to how can I do this for people who have been working for years and years and years. And they said, Michelle, you're the facilitator here. You're the coach or the mentor. We're the experts. And that was such a relief, because we feel like we are doing the work. But without the guides, we would just be people working intuitively, and we wouldn't have that extra layer. Oh, this is so cool. They just told me that soon we will be able to do so much more just based on our intuition and our own soul. We will not be needing our spirit guides so much. That is okay. Interesting. It's also part of us finding trust in our own abilities. So they're gonna take a step back, but not to leave us, but to allow us to feel what we're able to do on our own. Isn't that cool? I didn't know that. Okay, so Sarah Sassy said, yes, exactly like that. And unluckily, my guides looks like they aren't really speaking with me. Okay, let's just see. What time is it? Yeah, we have time. I can go in and see how because they communicate with you all the time, but it's an energy. And so the energy can be hard for you to feel, because you feel it's as if, so I don't know why, but they keep giving me food analogies. Like I keep seeing that if you have, let's say you have a cocoa, you have tea, you have coffee, you have cappuccino, you have champagne, all of these are amazing. but for some reason it all gets put into one big bowl for you. So you have a hard time finding out what comes from where and why isn't this. Yeah, there's something here. I know I'm thirsty and this would help my thirst, but there's just something off. And it's so funny because you do have access to all these different flavors, but for some reason they just get meddled. I hope this makes sense to you. And that would also be your guides talking to you, that would get put in with all the other things, because being an empath as you are, the communication from them would be very much in emotion. And again, expectations. I thought I would be hearing. So when I say they are saying, I don't hear a voice. I was looking for a voice in the beginning. Also, I when I started with the clairvoyance, I would expect to have like a movie or real pictures, or that they would be like out here on a screen. But in the beginning, it was actually like if you close your eyes and you think of so it's all dark, and you think of a horse, and then it would be like just as if someone had drawn the profile or silhouette of a horse, a dark horse on a dark background. That was how it started for me. And I didn't think it was anything. But then, oh, some other horses came. And then, okay, I have to talk about these horses. I thought I was just like, when you look in the clouds and you can see something if you want to. I thought that was what I was doing, because I was expecting it to be real, like a movie or something, because that's what you hear. You hear people talking about that. And I just realized I'm contributing to that when I say they're saying, oh, now they're saying. But that's because I have become, sometimes it's a sensation, sometimes it's a taste. So let's say I'm talking about something and I suddenly get a taste in my mouth, and it's like, this tastes good. So I'm on the right edge, but we want it to be sweeter. Let's say that. So they're sending me these tiny, tiny hints that I have just become really good at interpreting. And if I hadn't been spending so much time talking to them, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't just be able to tap into anyone with whatever problem they might have and not be scared that I wouldn't have the answer, because I don't see myself as the expert. They are the experts, and if they're not delivering, then they're failing and not me. Yeah, I said that. They were like, it's not failing, Michelle. Sometimes people might not be ready to get answers, and some people are asking the wrong questions, and sometimes we have tried to give them the answer so many times where they keep rejecting it, and that is why it might seem a struggle for you, because you did not think that we would not allow people to get answers. Again, my expectations. So it's because I've had that once. I had a client who kept asking about, oh, and this person, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't see that, but I feel like he's right. And I said, yeah, I don't see that. And then she asked something again about that, and I asked my guys, it's like, well, what is up with that? And said, no, we are not going to tell her anymore. Like, no, it's done. We're not talking to her. And I was like, what? That's not. So I asked her, say, how many psychics have you been to with this exact question? She said, I don't know. She didn't even have the number anymore, because she just kept looking for the right answer. She kept getting the right answer, but not the one she wanted to have. Again, expectations. Every time we have expectations, we are not able to take in what is right in front of you that might be so much better or more valuable if we didn't try to give it a specific shape or a specific taste or anything. So so let's just see. Sarah says, yes, exactly like that. And unluckily, yeah, I took that before. So yes, to be more correct, they probably speak with me, but I don't understand them. Yeah. So when you say that you don't understand them, actually, they're saying you do convey a lot of messages from them. But the doubt comes from it being meddled. And because you work more in energy, they're they're kind of nudging you. So it might feel as they're making, I'm hearing a sound in my head now. So let's say I'm trying to come up, what's that tune, like that song, la 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 la, and then suddenly something changes, like, oh no, it's la la la, and that's how they're working through you. They're fine-tuning you. So gentle, they're sending small impulses, and I get that before you realize how it feels when it's them. It just feels like I'm making this up. But you do get confirmation. So when you're working with this, you do get confirmations, but you think of them more as luck sometimes, but enough to keep you going. So you're on the right path. And there's a whole, there's something being unfolded right now. They're showing me like a notebook with a bow on it that is being opened for you to realize a lot of things. It's as if you've been writing a diary and that you're reopening it to rewrite your story, because some things are gonna, if you look at it again at what you've been doing and going through, you're gonna realize, oh my God, I've actually had so many cool experiences, and that was so amazing. And you're going to see some patterns and some realizations about how your abilities, your gifts are working, but you're also going to be able to create more from that realization. So, yeah, so you say you probably need to learn their language, and their language will change when you change. So if you become more familiar with what does it feel like when I'm only me, so if you manage to push aside everything else, so imagine you're pushing it out from you and pulling yourself back, so as if you're filling yourself up with you, your whole being, your awareness, and then, okay, now here I am, just me, just thinking. Then you connect to your higher self. Just imagine your energy going up. How does it feel? Oh, amazing. I feel larger. I feel okay, but I still feel like I'm me. And then you invite them in from above. And it's very important that you do this in a setting where you feel safe, and preferably with no one around you, or at least behind closed doors, and your guides are going to help you. So I could guide you through a meditation, but maybe the meditation from last Wednesday could help you if you find it in my playlist, because there's something about worry and doubt and fear in that could help you. Yeah, that would actually help as well. You are communicating it. So that's really what is weird for me, how so many people are communicating and they're getting so many messages and they're still saying, I can't hear them. No, because you expect it to be like someone is standing there talking to you, or you expect there to be a movie playing in front of you, and it's as if it's your own thoughts, or as if it's something you're feeling in your own body. But you become more familiar with, you feel so before a session, you feel yourself. How do I feel? Okay, good. And then you start with the other person. So when something comes up, it's like, okay, that wasn't there before. That must come from them. And then you check with your intuition. Yeah. So that was, you say thank you. You're welcome. That was a pleasure. But I hope the meditations can help you. So let me rephrase that. If you have time to do the meditations, they will help you, and your guides are there to help you. And writing. So they said the notebook because you cannot doubt. So emotions you can doubt, but when you're writing, you can actually write down, how does it feel when this and this. So if you want to learn if I am in a session as a healer and I am with success, when I'm successfully directing all energy in the right place and I manage to pull myself out, how does it feel? Something like that. And then you just start writing. And at first it could be, now I'm just writing, but invite your guides in and say, help me with this. do a small meditation first. So this is just intuitive writing or inspired writing, but you can do it with your guides and then see if you can get the answers, and then don't doubt. So if you say, la da da da, feel amazing, la da da da, like being on top of a mountain, la da. So just no matter how crazy it is, just keep going until you feel like, oh, I'm done now, and then read it, because even if you have like 7 different things, you're gonna know which one is not la da 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 da, but the right thing. And with practice, that's going to be easy for you. But because you tend to, they say they have sent you a lot of things that you didn't trust emotionally, but that's the channel, the clair that you have been working on opening. And that's why it's harder to get it only there. So if you're open to it, oh, that's cool. They're actually saying they're willing to come through tonight, or it could be now if you're willing. They could help you open up for your clair cognizance. So that's your knowing, to make it stronger, because it feels like it's a bit low. So the whole it's because your self-doubt has it's funny, because I feel the clair cognizance comes from the bottom of my belly, and it's if I have self-doubt or anything, it would be pushing it down, so I wouldn't really sense it. So when I'm breathing free and I'm being me and I'm loving it, and then it's so easy for me. I don't doubt it, because I feel it, because there's not a lot of crap blocking it. So that's what they are offering to help you do now. And anyone else who has that issue of self-doubt and not being open to how the communication may sound, because it could be that it's just a mix. And it's just think of it as a fun game, like it's a puzzle. So when you're getting a picture of a house and a card and some chips. Okay, it's a poker game, full house, something. Sometimes we have to put it all together. And if I get so let's just say, how did I get that? How self-doubt was blocking. So I felt where my knowing, my cognizance lies, because I like to locate things in my body. It makes it so much easier for the communication to come through. And the self-doubt, it felt like mud and darkness and everything that was on top of it down there. So self-doubt. That's because that's how it feels to me. So I almost feel it in my mouth as something yuck, muddy, messy, gooey, and it was all of that combined. And then my clair cognizance was just like, yep, you got it. So okay, so it's sensations, it's small images, it's they didn't really say anything about it there. It was me decoding all the different clairs they were using. So, and it's super fun if you're a curious person like me. I mean, I love detective novels, and I hate it when I have, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, figured out everything. So that person is gonna fall in love with that person, and that guy is gonna die, and he's the killer, and that's where, because that's how my mind works. And I know a lot of people don't work like that, but still, try to have fun with it and be okay with not getting it all the time. Because if you only get, let's say, 20% right, you can say 20% about a person you've never met before about their life just by tapping into them. Or you can give healing to 20% of a person's issues. You were hoping, you were expecting maybe 100, or they were, but you could do 20. Woohoo! Wow. So we tend to have expectations that are too high. And if we do not meet them, we fail. No, we still do amazing things, but sometimes if the energy isn't there, you might even be tired, or you may be sick, or you have issues in your personal life that are somehow meddling with your energy. Your guides will help you, but sometimes we need to do the work to be open and to lift the energy. So be nicer to yourself. Stop with all the expectations. You can have hopes as long as it's, oh, it would be so nice if, but if it doesn't happen or if it isn't possible, I'm still gonna do my best and it's still gonna be a good experience because I'm gonna help in some way and I'm gonna learn some things. And that means I'm gonna be even better for the next one and the next one and the next one. So it's a journey, we're building on. And sometimes it feels like, oh, we're taking steps back, but no, we're just engaging other abilities, other clairs. So it feels muddled because we're used to doing it in a specific way. And suddenly we're gifted new gifts, or we're opening up and it feels like we have to start over. But that's not really it. We're just being invited to be open to changes and loving it, or at least flowing with it instead of working against it. Yeah. So, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for the great Q&A was there. So I'm gonna finish off with a very short guided, I already forgot what it was they wanted me. For some reason, this is something I don't understand. So sometimes they will give me information, but my brain, popcorn, tick, 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 ideas, and I get excited. And then I forgot. And then they're not giving it again. It's like, why is that? So I'm just going to connect again. So they were going to help. Oh, yeah. So anyone who would be willing to open up for the claircognizance. Oh, I'm being told for some it will not be the claircognizance, but anyone who struggles with self-doubt or confidence in general when doing these things. And it's okay to be skeptic. It's okay to be reluctant, but the doubt of what is coming is, it's just, imagine a radio where your doubt would make the radio go so the music cannot come through. So that's why doubt is one of the worst things you can do. So the trust in the information, and even if you cannot trust yourself to decipher it or to interpret it or deliver it correctly, as long as you trust them and you do your best, then you don't put on the doubt and the lack of self-esteem. So that's what they're offering to help you with, no matter what your strongest clairs are, your abilities, or how you perceive things. So if you're interested in that, you can just, it's not going to take long, actually. They say, we have been working in this energy already. So Michelle, you're just going to help the people who cannot sense it so much to be open and prepared. So just, I was going to say, just be open and prepared. But really it is about, okay, I decide, I set the intention, I want to let go of that thing, that energy, that doubt or worry or lack of confidence that is somehow blocking my system, my abilities, and my connection to my guides. It's actually the communication, because the connection to them is not lost. It's just as now they're talking to me in a way as though they put cotton in my mouth. So was what I heard. So it's going to be like that, because the doubt is blocking the communication, but you're still connected. So they will still be able to nudge you, to help you, to support you, but you might have a harder time getting the communication right. That was cool. Not for you if that's how you struggle with it, but it was a cool way for them to explain it. I just love doing this. I love sharing it with you. So I hope you're getting something out of this. Good. So they're saying, Michelle, we're doing work here. Now please be quiet and just facilitate. Yes, yes. Okay. So just take a breath and just imagine like your body has done meditation before. It knows how to release the shoulders and open up, and you're grounding yourself simply by feeling your butt or your feet in the ground. So not the butt in the ground, but how you're sending your energy from your root chakra or through your feet into the ground. And imagine opening up from the head, the crown chakra, and just send your energy up as though you're beaming from the center of you. You're beaming into the earth and you're beaming up. I don't know why I'm saying beaming, but maybe some of you need that. That's how I do. I feel like I have this tube of light where I am the light, and I'm also connecting to light. I'm connecting to grounding energy in the earth, and I'm opening up. So I'm not just receiving, but I'm sending up, sending down, and I'm receiving. So it's just every breath I take, the energy keeps flowing through me and aligning me and cleansing any impurities or whatever I have picked up from other people out there. But it's also as though this tube is ensuring that no one can enter my pure core energy. So, and you can use that tube. Imagine that you're expanding it. So it starts in your body. And when you expand it out, you're kind of pushing out whatever you have picked up from other people. I like this better than when there's this whole, imagine you have a big energy around you. I like it to start from inside of me, so I ensure that whatever may have been attached to me, poof, gets pushed away and out. So then I have my protective bubble and nothing out of love and energy. It's only love, energy, high vibrations that can come in and out. So I hope you can use that. Okay, so they're saying that the intention, when it's said, the work is just happening. So they're showing me as if they're removing some of all that gooey stuff. And for some of you, you're getting more care because there's a lot of hurt in those sensations. So just imagine as if you might actually feel, for some of you, it might feel like an angel is holding you close and putting wings around you and embracing you to make you feel connected and safe. Others might feel just pure love running through you and out and like spreading. And for some, it could simply be a need to to cough or to even cry because you're releasing old tripe that you no longer need to carry around in your system. And just let it work. You don't have to do anything if you don't intuitively feel like it. Some might feel like I need to help tap it out because it's stuck, or I need to move. If you feel like you should do that, yeah, do it. This is spiritual stuff. We do what we feel called to do. But in general, they're doing the work also to show you that it doesn't have to be hard. You can just receive. And yes, they are doing it because they want you to be a better colleague, a better companion, a better, what should we call it? A friend that they can call upon, and you can call upon them, because they need you just as much as you need them, but they do not have expectations. They have believe in you and they trust you to do what you can do based on the circumstances you're in. And they also encourage you to ask for help because they're there to help you, and we need to be open to receive. So just receive right now and allow yourself to really change. And if you feel as though you're in an expansion or as though you're ready to take the next step, try to ask them to show you what they're doing and maybe turn it up a notch. But it's again free will. So they will only do what you allow them to do. But you can say, could you let me just feel the energy lifting just a bit more, let the vibration be higher, or the frequency, or how can I sense that a change is happening, because I am ready to gather the input and get a clearer channel, get better and clearer communication. And use my abilities to the highest good for myself and others. And they wanted me to, again, say myself and others, where myself comes first. Because if you do not connect, if you do not replenish and fill yourself up and protect yourself, you're not going to be able to deliver the high quality energy that is available for you. So you're gonna tear a bit on your own energy, and that is not the meaning here. So always use the energy for you first. It's not selfish, it's wise, and it's advised. And they're closing down. So I just feel again like the energy is kind of being pulled back to me. So they're still working, because some of the people that are in my team, Odeon, they're like consultants working a lot of places, and some of them will be in your team as well. But you might have other guides that are helping you right now. Some will have healer guides, but others will have guides that are helping in another way. I don't have a word for it. I haven't come across this before. Path guides? Something where they're here to help you along your mission, the soul contract. And yeah, okay, so that's about the next step and leveling up. So they're ensuring that you get what you need to follow that path. Isn't this cool? Okay. I am so grateful that I get to do this for you, and that you trust, that you trust yourself and the energies, and that you feel that it's all love and light. And also you might feel that you are releasing something now that's not love and light, and just enjoy the sensation of it leaving your energy system. But for some, it would be good to say thank you, that that is something that I am done with now. I do not have to attract it anymore. I have experienced it, and whatever learning was there, I take the learning in, but I do not wish to be open to that gooey stuff again. So that you can start fresh and not be in that old pattern. Cool. So I hope that you felt that and loved it just as much as I did. And thank you so much for being a part of it. And remember that even if you're watching this like a year from now, so today we have, what do we have? We have April 27th, 2026. And this is going to work because the energy is in the intention. And oh, that's so cool. They're showing me as though everything that happened in the now is like a tiny program that is being activated. So you're getting the full energy surge of that when you set the intention based on what was built here. That's so amazing. I haven't seen that before. It's like tiny snippets of code that is being produced in energy. Cool. So yeah. So again, no matter when, just believe in it and be open to it. And if you work with it, it's going to be better. But something tells me that in the future, this is going to be so basic. Oh, yeah. Okay. So there are going to be people who are not yet open. So they're going to need basic, but still, I really appreciate the questions that came and the conversation that came out of it. Conversation, me talking and them talking. Oh, some conversation as well, because I was communicating and telling you about it. But it was a pleasure, and I am back next Monday, same time, and open to your questions. And there will be a healing of some kind based on the people who show up. So be sure to be there live if you want to affect the energy that is being transmitted. So I wish you well, and remember, Wednesday is the healing that will be released, and I'm always curious about what you got out of this, if you have new questions, and also if you want topics. So topic for today was expectations, and I don't know what the topic for next week is going to be. So please put it in the comments, because I read them, and I will build up like what questions can I answer and what would be beneficial for the viewers in the future. So this is very much for you and with your input. So I thank you again, and I hope that you, I hope a lot of things. I just hope that you love yourself and that you love life, and I wish you the best, and thank you so much for being here. Mwah. That was me saying bye-bye.